Hi everyone. So today I'm going to show you some interesting features and additional capabilities that were added to Perplexity. So first, let's start with the models. As we can see, Claude Opus 4.6 was just recently released about roughly 2 or 3 days ago, and now it's part of Perplexity's ecosystem. Note that I'm currently using Perplexity Enterprise Max, so most likely this model came out first to these types of Perplexity subscriptions. In addition to that, we're going to try to use its new feature, which is called the Model Council, which lets you compare responses from multiple AI models. And at the same time, we're going to try to optimize and improve an existing prompt using meta prompting as well, using Perplexity's Comet browser. Now, we're going to start with using the assistant mode of Perplexity Comet. Now, Perplexity Comet is an agentic browser that was built by Perplexity. So we're not going to go deeper into that. I'm just going to show you how meta prompting works. So basically, meta prompting is a type of prompting where you can actually ask the AI model to improve a certain prompt and attach a certain guideline or a document that will actually serve as a data source. For example, you're attaching a prompt engineering a checklist to ensure that the AI model fully understands what are the context that it needs to generate. For example, you're doing a deep research. Let's say, for example, you're doing a deep research for a certain healthcare industry, and you wanted to make sure that it does comply to certain checklists. For example, HIPAA or HIPAA regulations, and so on and so forth. So I currently have my existing prompt right now. So this is my initial instruction to ask Perplexity to improve this prompt instruction. Next is this is the actual prompt instruction that I'm asking Perplexity to improve. So I provided all the context here. And then next is I'm going to upload documents. So you have the option to either upload this using Google Drive or using your device. So for now, I'm going to try to opt to uploading a document from Google Drive. So I'm going to pull a document here. So let me just pull the first document. So the question is how many documents you can pull. I believe it's a maximum of 7 documents at a time. So I'm going to pull another document just for my reference. So let me just pull this up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my preferred model. So for now, I'm going to try Claude Opus 4.6 and use the thinking mode. Okay, so just to set expectation that some of the features that I'm showing right now may not be available on the regular Pro or on the free version. So most likely, some of these advanced features may be available on the Pro version for consumers in the next couple of weeks or months. But for now, these features are currently available on the Enterprise Max. Okay, as we can see, it's currently um, scraping and reading the attached files from Google Drive. Now, the window that you're seeing right now, it's basically showing you Perplexity Comet's thought process, what it's trying to do right now. So we've noticed that it's currently or it's already generating its instruction. Okay, so it's giving us like the character, the type of request, and then the examples, and then real world applications, adjustments, the types of output, formatting standards, the evaluation, let's say for example, the completeness, the source reliability. And then as we can see, it's still currently generating its response. Right now it's already finished, so let's just copy this and then paste this here directly into Perplexity. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use Model Council to generate its deep research response. Now, The goal here is for us to conduct a deep research and use Model Council to compare three different AI models or different multi-model LLMs like Claude Opus 4.6, OpenAI's GPT 5.2, and Google's Gemini 3 Pro. So now we're going to click Submit. Okay, so let's go ahead and expand this section. Now, you've noticed that this is a very long prompt instruction. This is contextually heavy prompt instruction, making sure that the AI model fully understands all the necessary context instructions, including its nuances. Okay, now we will notice here that it says here generating an optimized deep research prompt instruction using the create formula and context engineering principles, which are the two separate documents that we've uploaded earlier. Okay, so let me just go ahead and try to see if we can expand this. So if we expand this, we can see that GPT 5.2 is using the thinking mode and it's pulling resources like Cursor and then Replit. And then what we will notice here is it's actually pulling some user-driven resources, which initially I requested not to pull it. Now, if we look into, let's see, let me just try to um, collapse this. Then let's visit Claude. Okay, so we will notice here Claude Opus 4.6 is also using the thinking mode. It's currently trying to pull resources like from, I believe this is IBM and this is, let's say, Microsoft. And then I'm seeing some like website resources. I'm not seeing any user-driven contents like Quora, Wikipedia, or Reddit, which we saw in GPT 5.2. Well, if we go to Gemini, let's just try to um, collapse Opus, and then let's visit Gemini 3 Pro. Let's see what it's trying to search. Now, we will notice that it's pulling resources from Manus, from LinkedIn, let's say Geostar, Arxiv, Facebook. Although for now, I'm not seeing any user-driven resources like Quora, Reddit, Wikipedia. And then it says here it's pulling up like generative BI in 2025 and then rise of generative BI. It's in Microsoft, TechTarget, Genesis Growth. I think this is Google Research, as we can see. Now let's visit Opus again. It says here what's vibe coding. It's from IBM. And then it's pulling resources from AWS Finance at Yahoo, Sonar Source, AWS. While for GPT, it's also pulling resources. I think this is from Financial Times and then Microsoft, and then GitHub, and then Arxiv, and then LinkedIn. Now let's try to um, collapse these ones. Let me try to collapse Gemini 3 Pro. Okay, let's try to collapse this, including Gemini 3 Pro. So as we can see, this button, it's showing that it's still generating its responses, conducting the deep research, but right now, Claude is already giving us the preview of what the content looks like. See, for example, key technologies and platforms like Cursor, Replit, Lovable, Bolt, Vercel. That's for AI-assisted coding. And then it says here for educators. it's citing references. So it's not yet finished, as we can see. So, but if we what we notice here, of all the three, Claude Opus 4.6 thinking mode is already starting to write its responses, while GPT and Gemini, it says here, is to view responses, which means that the first two models are the ones who are able to generate its first responses, while Claude Opus is the last one. And then we can see Gemini prose response. It's giving us like similar the executive summary, like Skywork Replit, and then it's saying here synthesizing responses. Okay, but please note that it's still not yet finished, as we can see here. Okay, so it's saying here it's synthesizing responses. So we'll just have to wait and allow a couple of minutes. Okay, in the meantime, we can actually try to visit some of the contents. Like if we notice here, each content was segregated by section. Let's say, for example, it says you're expanding deep research by investigating generative BI developments and impacts. So it says here that GPT 5.2 and Gemini 3 Pro was able to first generate its response, while Claude Opus 4.6 is still in the process of generating its response. Although what we can see, it says here all of them are still generating response, which means that it's still not yet finished when it comes to generating all of their contents. So it's saying here Gemini 3 Pro is already 6 steps, while Claude Opus 4.6 thinking is 18 steps, and then GPT 5.2 is thinking is 18 steps. Okay, so we can probably visit each content, let's say Gemini 3 Pro, and then as we can see here, it's giving us executive summary for AI coding and development, generative business intelligence, generative UI, generative engine optimization or GEO, and then world models like Meta's JEPA and OpenAI Sora. And then let's visit other contents here. Let me take a look. Okay, so we can see here, it says here GPT 5.2 thinking, it's still generating its response. Oops, sorry. Okay, so let's see. Okay, oops, it's saying here something went wrong, but let's try again. So let's see, continue. So let's try again. Let's see, hopefully this works. Okay, so what we can do is we can try to redo we can just probably check the request, or we'll just redo it. So let's just redo it. So same models here, Claude Opus 4.6, GPT 5.2, and then Gemini 3 Pro. So if we go back, it's still saying here it's generating the steps. It says here generating a preference throughout for introducing the upcoming tools call based on the optimized deep research prompt. So it's saying here GPT 5.2 thinking, it's 4 steps, while Claude Opus 4.6 thinking is at 10 steps. And then Gemini 3 Pro is 4 steps. All of these AI models are trying to fetch data. So we go back again, if you expand this button, you will see there um, all the resources that these AI models are trying to pull. Now, the purpose of this exercise is for you to compare whichever is best for your task. Let's say, for example, on deep research, whether you wanted to use either Claude model, Gemini, or even OpenAI's GPT, or even Perplexity's own proprietary AI model, which is a Sonar. The good thing about Perplexity is if you use the deep research capability, so it basically automatically optimizes which AI model performs best on specific tasks. Let's say, for example, deep research, content generation, like creating images, and it can also build like a dashboard, a visual dashboard for you, depending on the use case. Let's say if you already have like um, a certain data set from a spreadsheet. Okay, so let's visit this again. Hopefully it doesn't crash again. Okay, so we can preview just like this one. You can see Claude Opus 4.6 thinking. It's already giving us comprehensive deep research report, AI coding, and AI development, but that's just one topic. So we have 4 topics that we've been asking Perplexity to generate. So that includes generative BI, generative UI, and then generative engine optimization. Besides AI assisted coding, which includes vibe coding, AI assisted coding, and then agentic coding as well. And also, before I forget, we also ask Perplexity to include the research world models. Okay, so it's saying here that Gemini 3 Pro is already complete, but we can probably just click this to preview. Okay, so it gave us the AI coding and development, so most likely it's still trying to generate the rest of the topics. And then as we can see, it gave us or cited the resources where it pulled it out, like from Cursor, from AWS. And then let's try to um, collapse. Then let's probably visit Claude Opus. Okay, it's still writing its responses. So hopefully this doesn't crash again. Okay, so while waiting for these 3 AI models to complete their respective deep research capabilities, we can just probably a little bit explore the prompt instruction we have generated earlier. So as we can see, it's kind of like complex because we need to make sure that it includes the character. Let's say you are a multidisciplinary expert operating at the intersection of the following specializations like AI researcher, R&D research specialist, content strategist, learning and development expert. And then also it includes the tone and then the type of request, which includes the topics that we're asking for Perplexity to conduct a deep research, and then cite examples. As we can see here, it says here the examples, and then we have the adjustments. Let's say, for example, do not use or cite any of the following user-generated or unverified sources: Reddit, Wikipedia. As we noticed earlier while we were actually exploring GPT-2 thinking, it's actually trying to cite resources from Reddit or Wikipedia, which sometimes happens with these AI models. That's why it's really important for us to at least apply human in the loop whenever we're trying to use AI for specific tasks. Okay, so say here it says here the types of output and then the evaluation. Like before finalizing, self-assess the output against the following quality criteria. And then it says here why this prompt works. It says here this is optimized instruction applies to several reinforcing frameworks from the attached material, which is the two documents we attached earlier from Google Drive, which is the context engineering document and also prompt engineering for project managers. Okay, so it's saying here it's synthesizing the report. Okay, so what trying to show you right now, this is just a demo and an exercise on how we can use Model Council to try to compare um, the quality of the content of each of these AI models. It's similar to like an A/B testing where you're trying to test, like for example, each AI models to fully understand which performs best depending on the task, the type of task, and also each of their capabilities as well. Okay, so it's not yet finished. It says here's still generating its response. So it's saying here it's still trying to synthesize its responses. So it's saying here conduct council research on generative business intelligence development from 2024 to 2026. And then it says here generating a preference throughout thought for introducing the upcoming tools call based on the optimized deep research prompt. Okay, so we can see here, let's see, let's try to visit the response from OpenAI's GPT 5.2 thinking, and then let's try to visit Gemini 3 Pro, while Claude Opus 4.6 thinking is still generating its response. Okay, so please note that it could take some time depending on the type of task you're trying to do. So you just have to actually be patient. And also, if you wanted to, like, while it's trying to, like, conduct or generate its responses, you can try to review some of the contents as well. Okay, so what you will notice here is with these are the websites or the contexts where the AI model cited its responses. So if you hover to this one, let's say for example, resolve and then WearNet, you can actually pull this here. It says here GitHub Copilot usage data statistics. So let's say if you wanted to conduct a fact check, you can actually cross-reference these resources. Like for example, vibe coding and rapid prototyping, you can uh, pull Anthropic. Let's say it's saying here that for Replit, it shifted fully to an AI native IDE. Its agent feature back in 2025 allows users to build and deploy apps via conversations, effectively democratizing software creation, while Lovable.dev and Bolt, leaders in the idea to app space. These web-based tools generate full-stack applications from front-end to back-end to database from a single prompt, favoring speed and visual feedback over granular code control. So you can see here, Vibe Coding build apps with AI without programming in 2025, which was last year. And then we can see here, this is the document that we pulled out saying your 2026 Agentic Coding Trends Report. So this is coming from Anthropic. So let's go back to the, okay, so it's saying here something went wrong again. So try again. Okay, you might encounter this. Please note that it might depend on your internet connectivity. But what I've showed you right now is an example on how uh, the model council feature works. Now this time we're going to try to use the regular deep research using the same prompt. So it's saying here for the Perplexity Enterprise Max, it's saying here deep research, upgraded AI models in sandbox. It's saying here create in-depth reports with more sources, charts, and advanced reasoning. So we're going to try this one this time. Okay, so with Perplexity Enterprise Pro and Max, you can do a lot of stuff because it has a lot of features, which includes its level of integrations, connectors, and so on and so forth. Also, just a disclaimer that please note that um, these platforms upgrade and update um, from time to time. So the features that I'm showing you right now might already be different in the next couple of weeks and months as well. Okay, so this time this is the actual deep research capability that we've used instead of um, the model council where it will compare at least three AI models depending on what type of task you are requesting for Perplexity to initiate. Okay, so let's similar with the model council, it's also giving us like the resources where it's trying to pull. So basically, when this window that you're seeing right now, it's basically Perplexity showing us its thought process, what type of files or even contents it's trying to pull, where it's trying to cite its response. Okay, so right now, Perplexity is now showing us the canvas mode, where we will see the actual deep research content. And then what you will notice here is it's still in the process of generating as well. Now, Perplexity was actually this platform, which is Perplexity, became very popular because of its highly advanced research capabilities. So a lot of researchers actually trust this platform. Although you can actually use other alternatives like Gemini's deep research feature, OpenAI's ChatGPT has a research mode, but usually these features are available on the Plus and the Pro versions, so meaning you have to pay for subscriptions. Okay, so it is now trying to generate its response. So it's almost finished, so let's just wait. Okay, it's saying your 5 pillars of AI transformation, a comprehensive deep research report. So it's saying here AI coding, generative BI, generative UI, generative engine optimization, the world models. Okay, so it's already generating like the academic research, consumer use cases, horizontal impacts, vertical impacts, and then challenges, limitations, and ethical considerations. And that is for, let's say, it's for generative user interface or generative UI. And then GEO, which is stands for Generative Engine Optimization. This is actually similar to SEO or Search Engine Optimization. The difference is the result is ranked on search engine for SEO, while the result is ranked on actual AI searches. For example, if you search like a popular Filipino dish, let's say chicken sisig, you try to use either Gemini or use Perplexity, and it does rank certain searches depending on whoever owns that content. Okay, so it's still generating the content as we can see. So it's going to take some time because this is very long. So it's giving us the key takeaways and the strategic implications of these key topics. And right now it's just refreshing. So it's trying to conclude its research. And this is what you will see once the research has been completed. Okay, so it's saying here that it's already been completed. It's giving us a table. And then you have the option to export, download as a markdown, or even export markdown in Google Drive. You can also um, view it, which is the sources, this format, and then this preview. And then you can actually have the option using the deep research content, create an immersive yet visually appealing um, infographic dashboard with all the necessary data using data visualization capabilities and components. In addition, include visual data charts like graphs and uh, pie or bar chart that is fully functional. Ensure ensure the fluidity and user experience. Okay, so this time what we're trying to do is we're trying to um, build like a visually appealing dashboard to actually um, create one using this actual deep research material that we have conducted. But if it doesn't work, you can actually try to we can actually just um, we should probably switch to um, Perplexity Labs. So we can actually export this. Let's try to download this as a markdown. And then let's go back to the main screen and then create files and apps. It says here, turn your ideas into docs, slides, dashboards, and more. And then let's just using the attached content instead. So let's upload it. Um, I've saved it on my device. So this is the actual content. So let's open this. So just remember this, although please note that just a disclaimer again that some of these features that I'm sharing you right now may not be available from the free or even the regular pro version, and which might only be available on the Enterprise Pro or Max version. So this time, let's go ahead and try to create a visually appealing dashboard. Although note that this might not be 100% perfect, but at least it will provide us like a visually appealing dashboard, which is good for kinesthetic users and also for key decision makers, which will help them make informed decisions. Okay, so we attached the file, so it's going to take a bit longer. So it's saying you're thinking. Okay, it says here, I will extract data from the attached file using search file and use create charts and execute Python for an interactive infographic dashboard with functional graphs, pies, and charts ensuring fluid user interface or UX. So actually, that's the good thing about these models. If I remember, like roughly around 2.5 years ago, these LLMs are only limited to like generating text, codes, images, and then after a year, it can already generate videos, audios, and right now, it can already build us like visually appealing dashboards using HTML and other programming languages as well. So we can already use data visualization use cases using our artificial intelligence. So right now it's kind of like a bit slow, so let's just wait. Okay, it's saying here 5 pillars AI deep research report. That's the file that I've actually downloaded earlier. Okay, so right now there are three things that we're trying to accomplish. First is we're trying to conduct a deep research. We're trying to compare three models using Perplexity's new feature. And then also, we're trying to build like a visually appealing infographics dashboard using the same deep research content that I've used. So let's just go ahead and wait because it's going to take some time. Sorry. So let's expand this to, oops, sorry. Let me just move this. There you go. Then we can explore this, the links, the images. Right, these are the ones that you're uploading on the chat box. So what we see right now, it's showing us the necessary HTML codes. So later it's going to show us an actual preview of the user interface. Okay, so it's saying here like detailed contents, platform badge. Okay, so since the file is a little bit large, so it's going to take some time for it to generate. So we'll just have to allow some time, like a couple of minutes. Okay, so it's saying here like it's continuously generating the HTML files. Okay, so another thing is Perplexity will notify you through email if that project is ready. Let's say, for example, if you've conducted like a deep research, it says here, sorry, your project is ready. Okay, so it's saying here that you just have to click take me to my full project. So it's going to take some time because it would depend on your internet connectivity. So that's also something that we also need to consider as well. So let's go back to the same page while we're trying to generate the result. Let's go ahead and open the thread that we've generated earlier. So it's saying AI transformation dashboard. Let's try to open this one. Okay, so there you go. So it already generated the visually appealing content. So we can see it says here AI coding, developer adoption, generative BI, generative UI, GEO world models, and then market analysis, adoption metrics. It's like vibe coding, AI assisted coding. So these might not be perfect, but at least you can already see um, the actual data where the overall or the high level view of the actual data or the research itself. And then you have the option to download it as an HTML. You can just expand this. So it's going to just take a little bit longer. And you have the option to actually share this example project that you've created. As we can see, we already have the URL. And what we can see on this window, this is the actual preview. So as we can see, it's already finished, but we can just switch here because it's already been completed. Now, as we can see, it already generated the dashboard. It's saying here, made with Perplexity. You even have the option to download the HTML and also recreate this on a different platform like Lovable, Replit, or even use Claude to recreate this dashboard. And then you have the option to share this as well, whether it's private, anyone from your organization, or anyone with the link itself. And then just copy this link and this is ready to be shared. Okay, so that's it. And if you wanted to get more insightful contents from us, don't forget to follow our Facebook page, DocypherLabs. We also have a LinkedIn page as well. And then also don't forget to um, hit the subscribe button and then also click the bell button so that we can remind you on our upcoming contents. And that's all. Thank you so much.